Okay, this is going to be the first stream in a while. Hopefully I can do more soon. But I'm gonna be working on some stuff a little bit behind the scenes soon. At the moment I need to switch this stream to public so people can actually join. And then I gotta send out the link. But yeah, I'll probably do some more streams in like the future, like fairly regularly. But I need to work on some stuff behind the scenes for a bit. Oh, you might have heard that. I'm grabbing the link to share it. There we go. The stuff I'm working on today is going to be partially preparing for a Pycharm source release, and then also I need to work on some stuff for a devlog that I've already recorded the audio for, but I need to upgrade some of the I want to improve one of the areas, and like the shrine area needs to be fixed for a lot of reasons. It doesn't perform well, like the FPS drops because of various issues, and then not only that, but it's not fun to play through because there's way too many projectiles. So I need to fix that. Yeah, I'm gonna send out the stream link and then I can get started. Alright. How's my day been? Interesting. I woke up to a jackhammer outside my apartment, and then I went shopping for my week's groceries. Yeah, that was most of my day so far. I also ate a bunch for lunch. Alright. So, this is... Actually, hold on. I just noticed my, I may have stopped my music here. Hold on. Where is it? No, it's not here. I forgot where I put it. Here it is. There's the music. Got a little bit lost. Poland. Interesting. There's a fairly notorious person from my Discord server a while back that was from Poland. So the people in there have some interesting opinions of Poland. Alright. So you guys haven't really seen the shader stuff yet. I don't think I had them on the last stream. I'm not entirely sure. I might have. I don't think so, though. I think I did the shader stuff after the last stream. I don't know. Here, I'll show you the stuff I'm gonna fix today. So if you watch the FPS here, this gets pretty bad. So not only does it immediately drop to like 60, but if well, first of all, the combat around here is really funky. You don't want to do that. If I go down here, I just fell off the map, didn't I? Oopsie, hold on. There's no mechanic for getting you back after you fall off the map at the moment. So yeah. If you go down here, there's a little bit of, a lot of chaos going on. So, and if you actually go and kill all this stuff, I think that'll kill it, right? Yeah. You can see my frame rate drop quite a bit. I'm at like, this is an unacceptable frame rate. On a laptop, this would probably be like 20 FPS, but it's just gonna keep going down because these red projectiles don't despawn, and they're just bouncing all over the place, and like it's being processed even when you can't see it. So like when I was down here on the left, all these projectiles were being processed, which is not great for performance. And the expensive part in performance is actually all these sparks that were also being generated. But yeah, this isn't great for performance, so that needs to be fixed. Oh, whoa, look at the way these things are moving here. Right there. These things are moving funky. But I think it's because my body's nearby and they're trying to follow me? I'm not sure. Well, it's a mix of two things. It has to do with the frame rate and also the fact that it's trying to follow me in a certain weird pattern. Anyways, that's what I'm fixing today. Korea, that's a new one. Wait, no, is it? I think so. Wait, I think there's one guy that was from Korea, I think, from a while back. How do you deal with game manager stuff for your games? Right now you just have a main game loop and a main file, but I think that's kind of clunky. So one of the techniques you can use, and it's just kind of an introductory way of doing it, is to do what I did for my menus tutorial, where you just split things up into different functions. There's better ways to do it, but you basically just take that concept and write better code for it, essentially. So it's not not split entirely into multiple functions like that. But you take the principles from my menus tutorial, and that's how you deal with that. The Discord link is in the description. Nice to see me streaming. Hopefully I'll be streaming a lot more in the future. Just been busy, and then also not the main issue is that I've not been working on stuff that I can, like, that's I guess streamable. Also, like, so part of it is that some projects I'll be working on are things where I need to focus, and if I have to think too hard about something, I don't want to stream it. I think, what was it? There was, for my game Linez, I was doing some math, and I just couldn't do it during the stream. So I had to stop the streaming so I could actually focus on the math, and I started streaming once I got it sorted out. And then, I mean, there are other things I do, like music composition and stuff, where I won't stream it, because I just don't like streaming that type of thing. And then what else is there? Certain projects, and one of the examples is, I might do a video on this at some point. I have a project that's just like a competitive service for Beat Saber, and last couple days I was working on that, and obviously I can't really stream that. I've never even really talked about it on this channel, so it would have been completely unrelated, not even game dev. When you're showing the gameplay / Pygame screen, are you just zooming in with OBS or rescaling the screen? It is zooming in with OBS. I think if you can probably see when it pops up. Yeah, you can see the window pop up briefly. That's the size it is. I did have functionality to make it full screen, although I don't think it works properly right now after the OpenGL stuff I did. But I can make it full screen pretty easy. The performance should stay the same if I use the scaled, what is it? The scaled flag. Is that Perlin noise for the background? Yes, it is. Sort of. It's not, it's like a Perlin noise texture. It's not actual dynamically generated noise, because that would be more intense. It's like fireworks. Yeah, the background kind of does look like that, or the game looks like that. It's probably due to colliders projected to affect another enemy position. Are you talking about the lag? I mean, I know what's causing the lag, or a good chunk of it. Like, when I've got 1,500 projectiles going, I just need to, like, disable entities. I need to switch things to certain entities to not use that same type of projectile, and a few other things. What is the game class? It's just the I guess master object for the game. So if you think of like Godot, it's sort of like the root node. Why don't I use Python Arcade? So actually that was a video idea I had. I was thinking about like kind of looking into it for a video and then doing comparison. I'm almost certain already that I would say 99% certain that I'll like Pygame more than Arcade, just from just a little bit of documentation I've seen and things I've heard and stuff like that. But I've been thinking about giving it an actual shot and then making a video comparison. Like, yeah, like it's mostly a preference thing, but there are legitimate reasons to use Pygame over Arcade. And I think it fits a lot of use cases. Although in the education area, Arcade may be better. It's like, I guess Pygame, the best way I can explain my current opinion without having tried it yet is that Pygame is probably better if you're trying to do things commercially. You can make games, whereas if you're a beginner, Arcade might be better. Although the difference isn't that big, so I think in a lot of cases you might want to just jump straight into Pygame. It depends what you're doing. Alright. Do I have a Pygame course to learn Gamedev like me? That's one of the things I've been busy with, and obviously I can't stream myself making tutorials. So yeah, I'm working on a Pygame course. A large section of it, pretty much the scale of my current, like the series of tutorials I have on my YouTube channel right now is going to be pretty much entirely replaced by something newer. That will be a subsection of the course. So, I'm making a pretty big course, and a large section of it is going to be free to watch on YouTube, so that you can, in theory, learn Pygame just by watching the free portion of the course. It's more like the paid part is just kind of like extras, but I have a feeling a lot of people will want those extras anyways. Or the other thing is that maybe after watching several hours of content, they'll just be willing to throw me the 20-30 bucks or whatever anyways. Scales I think you're talking about scaled. Scaled destroys your pixel art design. I'm assuming you're talking about the flag. I don't think so. It does some weird things, but it doesn't mess up pixel art really. Is the reason Pygame is slow is because it's a wrapper for SDL, or is SDL slow too? It's technically both, like a little bit of both, but it depends on what portions you're looking at. So like, for example, if you're considering the set_at function, that is slow because of Python, I think. Whereas if you're comparing like just a blit function, if you're trying to blit a 1080p image, it would be slow because of SDL. In most cases it's slow because of SDL, but once we get SDL2, which is Pygame 2, we should be able to use hardware rendering, or GPU, which should be faster. Yes, this is Adam. So one of my videos I said that I did a multiplayer game using Python and Pygame. What framework, if any, did I use for multiplayer, and how did connecting to others work? So I don't know which multiplayer game I was referring to. I've done a couple prototypes, and I'm actually working on one right now. But the I don't use any frameworks for any of my multiplayer games. I just do it. I write my own stuff with sockets. You're contributing to Pygame. What do I think of more optimized function for drawing mini rects / circles? I mean, I would prefer optimization on polygons over rects and circles, but yeah, I'll take optimization wherever I can get it. I use polygons. Oh, my microphone just peaked. I use polygons for a lot of visual effects. So like sparks, I use polygons for. What am I working on Vaegrant today? Optimization and general gameplay improvements. So there will be visual changes as well, sort of. The very first thing I'm going to do is a visual change. Once I catch up on chat here, I'm almost there. Will I make videos on remaking old games. Okay, so not really. Are you talking about my old games or just old games in general? So for old games in general, I was thinking about doing a video series where I speedrun recreating like simple games like Flappy Bird or Breakout or something. Why is YouTube yelling at me to put in ads? I'm not gonna play an ad for 50 people. How much is that? So let's say it's like less than $1 if I do it. What was it saying? Oh yeah, so if I were to remake my personal old games, like it would just become an entirely new game, and I wouldn't really brand it as a remake of one of my old games. So like, for example, Drawn Down Abyss was taking ideas from multiple of my other Game Jam games, and that's kind of how a lot of my games work, is I take ideas from my old games. But yeah, I don't brand it as remaking an old game of mine. Yeah. What PC specs do I have? i5 8600K, I think 16 gigs of RAM, 1070 Ti. The only thing that matters for Pygame though is the i5 8600K, which is, I believe, like around 4 gigahertz. Have you tried out Nim? If so, what do I think about it? Is Nim like some sort of... Man, hold on, let me turn down my microphone. I keep peeking. One moment. Filters, gain. I turn them as gain. I think I started speaking louder than I used to, and like, just like the more I've streamed, the louder I've gotten. So I run into a problem where my microphone just keeps peaking, because before I had it like gained up to like just near maximum at my loudest, and now whenever I laugh or something, it peaks out. Anyways, yeah, so I don't know what Nim is. You almost forgot about the live stream? What do you mean forgot? I never announced one. What am I making? I'm updating Vaegrant. You can maybe look at my last devlog or some previous streams to see what I'm working on, or you can look at the DaFluffyPotato.com/log. That's probably the better way to look at it. Tentative dates of the Pygame course. Probably this year. And I don't have memberships on my YouTube, if that's what you're talking about, so there's no early access or anything. But let's see. I'm hoping I can have the course done by mid-August. Late August. Can I show the game? Fine, I'll leave it on the background while I talk, because I'm taking forever to catch up on the chat here. This is a recurring issue in my streams. It turns into a Q&A, and I have a hard time actually working on stuff. Alright. Hello, do you have contact with guys from Pygame who'd like to improve Pygame because you see many things to optimize? Well, if you were reading chat a moment ago, there seemed to be another contributor in here. There's a couple people that pop in here periodically that are contributors, but if you go to, what is it, the Pygame community Discord server, you can talk to some of the contributors directly. Alternatively, you can open like GitHub issues and stuff like that. There's all sorts of ways you can contact them. Do you know how Py2exe converters work? Python is interpreted, so how can it be compiled into an exe file? So it's not compiled. What it does is it creates an executable file that includes the Python interpreter that can interpret your code in real time. So it's basically just includes the entire Python interpreter as the executable. That's why the executables are so large. They're like, I think, minimum 30 megabytes. Even if your code is like 5 kilobytes. It's because it has to include the entire Python interpreter in every executable. Is AI hard to make for games in Python? No, it's actually, I would say, easier than most other things because, well, it depends on what type of AI you're trying to do. But in general, Python's easier to code complex logic in. And if you're going to really advanced AI, Python is one of the main languages people use for artificial intelligence to begin with. Although, the game type artificial intelligence isn't super widely done in Python. But in general, I'd say Python is better for artificial intelligence than most languages. Especially if you get into some really advanced stuff, but it would be more experimental at that point, like incorporating machine learning into video games, or ML models. I would say you wouldn't be learning during the game usually. You remember having played a game by me with flying ships? It was funny. Taking this one. Wait, talking on this one first. I'm not sure what that last part's supposed to mean. But I'm assuming you're talking about what is it, precious cargo. Nim is a programming language. Interesting. Might look it up later. Why don't I stream on Twitch? It's because my viewers are here. Although I saw, what is it, Polymars and Bargy have started streaming on Twitch. I'm curious how that does monetarily. I might talk to them and ask them about that. I've considered streaming on Twitch. Presumably you make significantly more money, but I don't know. Like, Twitch subscriptions, I'm a bit iffy on that. I would rather, be selling my games or a course or something, because then I get, I feel like the viewer gets more from me, and then I get a larger portion of the money than if someone bought a Twitch subscription. So, I think Twitch subscriptions, what is it? The streamer gets, I don't know what the share is. It might be half, or I don't know, 60% or something. I don't know what it is, but it's not great. Whereas if I sell a game on Steam, I get 7. Not supposed to say that. If I sell a game on itch, I get 90. And generally profit share is better for selling my stuff. If I sell a course, it's I forgot what it is. On Udemy, if I generate the traffic myself instead of them going through the website naturally, I get a pretty large portion as well, I think. Oh yeah, also there's a different culture on Twitch. You get different viewers, I would say. Whereas on YouTube, it's a lot more of the actual people that watch my videos. How do I come up with names for my new games? I don't know. Normally I'll I think most of my game names are 2 words, so a lot of times I'll just take one word and play around with it. For example, Spike Dungeon was easy. It was a dungeon full of spikes. Whirling Blades was originally called something else, but a lot of times I look up synonyms until I find a name that isn't really taken for something else on YouTube. And then that's one of the main techniques I do. I'll just take words related to the game, put them together, and then look up synonyms until I find something that will show up well on Google. Let's see, and then one of the interesting ones I had was Drawn Down Abyss. The name is a card pun. So the full name is, so I wanted to do something with drawn, because what was it? I was thinking of a couple names, but they all involve draw or drawn, and then some synonym for cave or abyss or hole or something. I wouldn't have used hole, that would have been dumb, but I think one of the things I was considering was using chasm in the name, but the name is a card pun that works multiple ways. So you draw cards, but you're also drawn to go down. So that's a lot of stuff going on there. All right, getting further behind in chat. There's too many people here. It's possible to do APKs with Pygame. Yes, I don't know how though. You're gonna have to ask some other people or Google it. Is World Background 1 begin animated sprite? No, it isn't. It's a shader. Have I tried C++ SDL or redlib? I tried redlib with Python. I have not done C++ SDL. You hate Polymars and Bargy? I think a lot of their viewers don't like me, or well, some of them. I don't think there's a whole lot of overlap. We definitely occupy slightly different areas. I think, well, YouTube tells me I have a lot of overlap with Bargy. Not Polymars though, which is funny because I think Polymars was the one who was messing around with Pygame for a while. I think Bargy did too, but not much. But Polymars was in the Pygame community game jam. But yeah, they do a lot more, like, I lean more towards education than they do, I think. You prime sub to Polymars? Oh, that's one of the reasons Twitch is better, because of Prime. A lot of people have extra subs to throw around that they can't use on YouTube. A game that could learn from the player might be interesting. You wonder about the overhead for the ML stuff though. So you would probably use it for major kind of like I think machine learning, like the difficulty with putting it into games is that to train something for a specific game, you need like sample data, which would be really hard to get. If you're making a game from the ground up, where do you get sample data? You have to like somehow create it, and I mean, if you're creating it automatically, you might as well just create the AI traditionally. So unless you have some sort of like human interaction to generate data to train your model off of, I'm not sure exactly how that would work. So there are some other things you can do where if you're training stuff for, I guess, like for example, a good example would be if you want to do some natural language processing stuff where like conversations are more realistic or something, that would be really interesting. But that's something where you have data sets that are more generalized and not specific to your game, and you can just kind of incorporate that type of AI into your game. But yeah, like real-time AI would be difficult to do. I guess you could make the AI fight itself to train itself, which would be interesting. That is one way to do it. But you also, like, for game AI, you don't want it to be the best possible either, because if the AI is too good, then the game just becomes harder. You want more like the AI needs to be engaging and not just good. So like you don't want it to be just the main benefit of machine learning stuff is that it's non-traditional, and it will probably be less predictable to the player. Maybe depends on how you train it. But depending on how you train it, you're gonna end up with something very difficult. And yeah, so like for real-time AI, like action combat type stuff, I don't see it working too well. But if you're thinking of like some sort of like strategy game or something, that could be super interesting. Another thing is, like I mentioned before, the natural language processing side, which is the part that kind of interests me. I would also kind of like to see, I've had an idea for like in MMO, like a PvE MMO. I probably won't ever do this because it's too big, but a PvE MMO where the environment part, or the part that the players play against, is just like, essentially the main enemy is just like an AI controlled I guess, entity that manages things more strategically from a top level. That would be interesting. So, and I've had quite a few ideas on that subject. I kind of want to look into it at some point, but definitely not now. I have too many other things I want to do. Like, my number one priorities right now are, well, finishing the course, and releasing a game, a paid game. And then after that, it'll depend on how the paid game and the course do, but I would like to at some point get into VR game dev. And then maybe after that at some point, but then by then I'll probably have a job again and everything. Alright. How are my final exams? I did fine, I think. So that was like several months ago. That was April, and well, no, I think somewhere April, somewhere May. But yeah, don't have to think about exams for a while. On Twitch, you only get paid once you've made $100 in a month. Are you sure it's not like it's a monthly payment if you've accrued more than $100 in total? So like you get 50 one month, 50 a second month, they'll pay you. Because that's how a lot of things work. I think I can say this. That's how Valve pays you. They just, like, every month they look and see, have you accrued over $100 in total, and you can rack it up from multiple months. But I don't think that would be an issue for me if I streamed on Twitch. Like on YouTube, like this is just, I didn't even schedule a stream and I'm averaging like 50 viewers or whatever. I think on Twitch that equates to probably over $100 a month on average with the subscriptions. I scrolled down way too far. Oh my. Have you made collision physics and rendering yourself? Yes, I did all of those. How do you make games faster? Oh, run faster. The stuff you're mentioning there sounds about right. So use dictionaries, use .convert or .convert alpha, but you need to use dictionaries in the right place and structure data properly. So it's a lot more complex than just using dictionaries, but it's not something I can just quickly explain. Alright, I'm catching up here. How much does YouTube pay the creators? I mean, it's ad revenue. Unless it's a super chat. I forgot what super chats are. They might be like 60% or something. I forgot. And I think that's how ad revenue works as well. You get like 60%. Which is like, I mean, for ad revenue, that's a pretty good deal, honestly, because you don't pay anything to put your videos on here. YouTube's already running out of loss. They're losing money. So, I mean, like, probably, like, for example, on me specifically, they're probably making money. But because, like, in generally speaking, they're working at a loss, so I don't really have any complaints about the YouTube pay cut. Should you learn Pygame first or Godot? It depends what you want to do. If you want to actually do like game development, probably Godot. If you're interested in Python too, I'd say Pygame. When you get more views and likes, YouTube gives you more money. I disagree. Except, like, I mean, indirectly, yeah. Well, for views, I say for likes, it's indirect. The views are where you actually get the money. Likes only lead to more views, and the engagement improves your positioning in the algorithm. You have to become a YouTube partner to put ads on your videos. Alright. Did I work on the boss in Vaegrant? No, not yet. How how many subs? I think, yeah, it's 1,000 subs. And you also need 4,000 watch hours in the last month, I think, to become a YouTube partner. Alright, I'm almost caught up, I think. What menu system are you using? I made it. Am I in search of a video editor or someone who is good at making games in Pygame, which may add value to your course? So the stuff in the course, it needs to be like, I'm not editing it too much. I'm editing it like my tutorials on this channel, kind of, because you don't want to get too fancy with editing because it's just distracting. So the main focus should be the content. So I focus more on like the course structure and the actual things I'm teaching rather than the editing quality. The main thing I do though is like I do cut out a lot of my verbal pauses and all sorts of things, and I might speed up a section or something, just to get the like just to make the video a little bit more dense and just not waste the watcher's time. So the editing experience is the same as I do on my YouTube channels, which is just cutting things out pretty much. So it's not too complex. Do I have a recommendation for achieving procedural generation, for example, in a top-down environment? Watch my 3D terrain generation video. That's what you're looking for. Because top-down is 3D, like top-down terrain generation is 3D in theory. It's just visually shown as 2D. Do I know that Atom is not being further developed? What do you think about it? Will I switch to VS Code? I did see that about Atom. I mean, Atom's working fine at the moment, so I'm probably sticking with it for now. Oh my goodness, there's some messages. Via Gamedev and Pygame? No, I use Godot. Will the course be released to Udemy? I'm not sure what framework you're asking about. If someone like the stuff I did for this game, oh, oops. I wouldn't say it was hard to make. It took a bit, but yeah. Alright, I'm almost caught up here. Does it hurt to be a floating head without a body? No. Do you know any good videos on shaders in Pygame? Would it be a mix of PyOpenGL and Pygame? So I didn't watch any videos. I learned that the most scuffed way. So I just kind of, I don't even remember what I used as my base. But most of the stuff I learned was just like Googling things and finding random Stack Overflow questions and working it out from there, and then also using the actual documentation for OpenGL. So I did a little bit of both, but I didn't use any videos to learn that, so I have no recommendations, and I don't recommend learning the way I did. It was, I mean, it worked for me, but I think it wouldn't work too great for many people. What music is this? It says on the bottom left. Alright. My avatar is not a cat. It's a floating head. The stream has already ended up kind of like a Q&A. So like normally my streams, how far are we in? 40 minutes almost. Normally I spend 20 to 40 minutes essentially doing Q&A at the beginning of most of my streams. That's normally how it goes, and then I start getting into coding later, and people usually start talking to each other instead of asking me questions, and then I'll ignore half the questions at that point anyways. Can I explain real quick how the background is being drawn? That's like a couple videos down the road. I'm going to do a video explaining that. It's shaders though. How many years of experience do I have in developing video games? I'm about to hit 9. It'll be 9 in September. So in 3 months, or 2.5, or whatever. Did I use some courses to learn Pygame? No. How did I learn it? Oh yeah, I read a bunch of code. I used the documentation, and I learned Pygame sort of like how I learned OpenGL. I have a weird technique for learning things that I do not recommend to beginners. I learned Python with, I think, I don't know if there's a book linked either in the description. I'm not sure if it's there. If it's not in the description, then go into my Discord server. There's a link to a book that I used to learn Python. And that same book, I think, also has a Pygame section that I didn't read, but I think also works if you want to do that. But I also have videos on my channel, obviously. Can you intern under me? No, I don't. I can't. I don't like hiring at work. Well, you said Stack Overflow is toxic. My experience hasn't been that toxic. I think it's gotten a little bit better over the years. So like, yeah, I mean, it's mostly fine, I think. Like, it's a weird situation where you just have a bunch of people asking for help, and the people that would be giving advice are like, they don't have too much incentive, too much incentivation. Is that a word? Incentivization? I forgot what the word is. They're not really incentivized by anything they'd be interested in to answer those questions. So it's a weird situation, because you're asking questions from people that are usually capable of making six-figure salaries. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of bound to end up that way. You got a question banned without warning from Stack Overflow. That can happen if you ask too many bad questions, or just like questions that don't get answered. I have like 4 Stack Overflow accounts or something. No, I think it's 3. I think I have 3. One of them got banned, and that was from when I was just starting, and then I forgot what happened to the other 2. Oh, well, I think the other 2 are fine for me to use right now. But with Stack Overflow, you kind of have to answer questions to ask them. But if you're at the level where you can answer questions, the questions you ask are not normally going to get answers. So it's a funky situation. I only ask something on Stack Overflow, maybe a couple times. I would say about 2 times a year, or actually no, maybe a little bit less than that. Maybe averaging 1.5 times a year, because there's just like I mostly ask more like IT stuff. Anything in Python, I'm not getting an answer pretty much. I don't think I've even tried to ask something about Python in Stack Overflow in a long time. All right. So, I'm trying to recreate Minesweeper, and you find it hard. Okay, I don't think. Wait, are you asking? Is it hard? I don't think it would be that difficult. I mean, it depends on how new you are. But I think it would be a decent beginner project if you know the basics. The Pygame 4000 book is pretty cool for learning. Isn't that the thing that's being advertised in the documentation? I haven't looked at it. What do I think about Quetzal? That sounds familiar. Hold on, I'm looking that up. No, it's a bird. Hold on. Game. Oh, it's a board game. Or, wait, no, there is something on Steam. It sounds familiar, but I just looking at it from a picture, I don't recognize it. Alright. How did I get good at pixel art? A lot of time and a lot of making games. I never really follow tutorials or anything. I just like see pixel art and I get practice that way. So I'll see art on Twitter or something, and then I'll think about it or reference it when I draw my own stuff. And I don't really reference stuff too much anymore. I think you can see in some of my videos where I reference some of my earlier inspirations for pixel art. So there's RXI and Daniel Linson. Both people that were like doing the Ludum Dare when I first started. But my style is kind of its own thing at this point. So I don't reference people's stuff too much. I'll take inspiration from stuff I see on Twitter here and there, but I've never really like actively focused on improving my pixel art that much. It just kind of happened because you make enough stuff and it just happens. A lot of people have improved way faster than I have. A lot of people will get to better than I am in under a year if they actively focus on it. So I wouldn't recommend doing what I do necessarily if you want to get better at pixel art. It just kind of happened as a result of me making games for like almost 9 years now. Alright. Am I participating in some Pygame game jams? I thought about doing the Pygame community game jam maybe when the next time this comes around. People in my Discord server were talking about organizing a game jam as well. I don't know. I was going to do the last Alka jam, but it dropped out because of the theme and time restrictions. So I don't know. It also looks like they fixed some of the main issues I had with Pi Week. So maybe I'll consider that at some point. But right now I'm a little bit busy. What? I'll get to the super chat in a minute once I catch up here. What is my goal when creating a game? Have I created some? Wait, wait, what? I've created mini games, but why am I still making them? I want to make something bigger, generally speaking, but I also do enjoy the social stuff with game jams. In general, I want to just make something fun for myself, and that's where a lot of my game design comes from, which a lot of people take issue with. Some of my games are typically super difficult, is because I make things to be fun for myself, sort of. It's like, I've played Drawn Down Abyss for like, what is it, 20-something hours by now? I don't remember. So I'm getting to the point where I want to make a more procedural game soonish that I can have for my own enjoyment. I also really want to make an online game. Alright. What is my favorite game of all time? I guess it's probably Beat Saber, I would say, yeah. Although it's not my most played game. What do I think about my tutorial? Oh, I have videos about it. Oh wait, why'd you retract that super chat? I saw it before. I already forgot. If you had a question, you can just send it again, I'll answer it. But thank you for the $5 Shade of Dark. Or Shades of Dark. Yeah, Pymox's good for physics. How am I doing the minimap? I think I made it on one of the streams a while back, so you can go and check. For caching stuff, do I use an array or dictionary or array? Wait. I use a dictionary for caching because it has instant lookup times. Oh, yeah, they asked about what the story of Vaegrant was. So Vaegrant doesn't really have much of a story yet, like that's actually built into the game. But the intent is that it's like kind of bubbles of space that are split apart, and you go through these portals that are kind of in another dimension. There's some details here, so it's like this extra dimension here is in MMO terms instanced, meaning that you can't go there with an NPC, and that drives a decent amount of the lore for the game. Specifically, that's why this character and this character here. This is the character over here's father, and he's too weak to go through the thing on his own to get back to the town, so he's just kind of trapped here. Yeah, but in general, it's just like the world's been broken up into bubbles of space. That's why the background's weird. So it's more like and also in the extra dimension here, there's other like creatures and stuff, which is what you're gonna like. This is where the main bosses of the game are gonna be. So you have to fight those things, and like it's more like the lore is driven by the mechanics and everything else from the game. The lore just kind of came after as more of an explanation for why I did things a lot of ways I did them. Like the background is like this because I don't want to do background art, and that turned into lore for the game. These portals are here for boss fights, and that turned into lore for the game. And then, well, also I didn't want to have like a completely open world as well, so that's another reason why these are here. So the lore is just kind of like an explanation for why a lot of the things are the way they are, but I've tied it together in a way that sort of makes sense. So that's how that happened. What am I doing today? Well, once I finish answering these questions, because it's almost been an hour, I'm going to fix the shrine area, which is over to the right here. Is the game file open to public? Only patrons at the moment. What feature am I working on today? I think I just answered that. When do you think I'll finish Vaegrant? I'm not sure at the moment. I would say hopefully within 1 or 2 years. I'm also hoping I can finish it this year, but I'm not sure. Is my FPS limited? No. That's just like software rendering. So even though I have a beefy PC, it's not that different from how a laptop would run it. If I ran it on my laptop, I'd get like 60 something. It's still not ideal. I have performance stuff to do, like performance improvements to make, but like it's not as bad as it looks once you get it running on a weird laptop. Is it deliberate to make a hole in the background behind the player? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Are you talking about like the reflection in the black part? Because that is intentional. I don't use ECS in my games. I do something more akin to Windows nodes. Anyways, it appears I've finally caught up on chat. So I'm actually just going to use the restroom real quick, and then I'll get started on coding. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Might take a moment for my avatar to catch up. No, I think it's good. Alright. Yep, time for coding. There are multiple Pygame game jams. You can do PyWeek or the Pygame Community Game Jam. There's a lot of options. Alright. So, the very first thing I wanted to do here... active, Vaegrant, data, images. There's a specific image. This needs to be changed. Hold on. Let me make sure I get the palette right. So, I'm thinking about just dumping some white in here, because it's hard to see right now. So I'm gonna take this. This is the main projectile at the moment. I can do it like that, or I can invert it and put the white on the outside, but I think I'm gonna do it like that for now. Because the background's very dark, so it's hard to see the projectiles right now. They used to be easier to see because it was on like a brown background or no, I don't forget what color it was. So it's a much lighter than it is right now. So now they should be, yeah, you can see them better, or they kind of look like the particles. So I need to work on that. But the other thing is I need another projectile type. So just remove all this random stuff. Projectiles. I need a new projectile type. So render. It should be update. Where am I doing the AI for this blob? Heavy blob. Self.config group is standard heavy. Or wait, how do I turn off the physics? That's what I need to do. Hold on. Move. So actually, let's do this in heavy blob and standard heavy. So how many times did I say heavy blob in here? 2. This is the only other spot. So if it's in normal, it does that. And okay. So now I can just take this, find in project, heavy blob. So the grub, I want spawning standard heavy. Metalhead can keep. I'm actually going to switch everything standard heavy. So I'm basically just turning off the physics for. I like how the function is called vomit. I'm turning off the physics for the projectiles, sort of like. Well, I'm making it so they don't bounce, and so that should like improve the frame rate a decent amount. So like if I go over to, oops, I need to fill out the projectile stats here. Hold on. Boop. So let's turn down the knockback. I think everything else should be good though. All right. So now they should just hit the ground once and disappear. Ah. Game Masters projectile. Oh, I'm dumb. I also need to images, projectiles, standard heavy. All right, barf at me. Wait, no, hold on. Huh? Let me just print self.config group. They're not supposed to bounce like that. Ooh, wait. Huh. There's no else here. So it shouldn't be heavy blob. Did I miss something? Hold on. Why is this? How is it? Hold up. Excuse me. It only says heavy blob, like a couple places in the code. Oh. Oh, oops, that's the problem. So now they should go just like hit the ground once and be done. Oh no, they're rolling. Why are they rolling? Hold on. In normal standard heavy. Okay, I don't want them rolling. Let's see what we get here. That's what I'm looking for. Now they just disappear, which is what I want. So the frame rate should already be more stable if I go over to this like chaotic part over here. Wait, no, it's up here. Ooh. So if I go down here, this place is a mess normally. So I'm not like lagging like... Okay, so I want the vomit stuff. Huh. I'm thinking about changing the vomit function. Hold on. Well, let me see that again. I need to see that again. So when the skullwalkers, the skeleton-looking thingies, vomit. Hold on. Where is it? It's down here somewhere. So when they vomit, you can barely see the projectiles. They're there. I mean, I guess I can leave them like that. Like, I mean, I can get hit. Maybe, like, they're you see them in the beginning of the game, so maybe they just shouldn't be that dangerous. I think that's fine. Like, none of these enemies are very dangerous. I need to turn off the thing where they can... what is it? They can hit each other, right? Oh, I guess... I used to have a problem where they would attack each other. Because the entities can hit entities of a different type, but now that the projectiles hit the ground properly and don't bounce everywhere, they're not really hitting each other. So it's not too much of an issue. Oh, you know what I should do? I should make them bounce once. Hold on. Self.bounces equal 0. Aha. Where is it? Self.bounces plus equals 1. So what I'm going to do, elif that, or self.config group is standard heavy, and, hold on, I think I need to, do this. And self.bounces is 0. So I can do that. So from here, I do this. Or doesn't equal 0. I think I did that right. So now they should bounce once, and then I might have to turn off the collisions here. So they bounce once. Yes, that's perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Will they hit each other? Are they gonna attack each other here? Maybe they don't attack each other. Maybe I already turned that off. I don't know. They don't seem to be. They seem to be fine. Alright. So that's good. It's the wrong weapon. Alright. So now this area is more bearable. It's still a little bit laggy. I think I need to... Well, no, I already deactivated the entities when they're not on screen. So what else is there to do in here? So looking at the baseline FPS, we're at 100 in this area. This area is like 130. Like my target is about 100 because that's like 60 on an average laptop. And to be fair, like a lot of people on the average laptops are used to playing below 60 anyway, so I could probably go a little bit lower. But this area is running at like 65 here, which isn't great. And I do need to figure out why. I could turn on the profiler and take a look. So I'm going to do a quick commit here. Updated projectiles. I'll rechat once this commit goes through. Alright, I'm gonna rechat now for a moment. Alright. So you're talking about level editors. So do the dictionaries hold properties for an item? I mean, I think the only time I use dictionaries for properties is when they come from the configuration files. So for example, this projectiles file, it has like some information here that gets stored in the entity. Well, in this case, projectiles. There's also this entities file that actually has other information. So sometimes I'll store stuff like as a dictionary, sometimes it'll be, usually it's a property of the class. So you can actually set it up so that you load JSON data into class attributes, but I didn't do that. So I mostly just use dictionaries inside my classes if they're storing like configuration stuff. What ended up happening to that one online platformer thing? I'm planning on working on that at some point. It's just like a side project I'll probably work on here and there for fun. It's not going to be my main focus because it's not really profitable. If anything, I'm going to lose money on it because if I start up some servers, it's going to cost me money. Alright. When you make a big game, one file can make things impossible to find. It depends on how you do it, actually. Drawn Down Abyss is mostly one file, and I managed to make it work. I think I commented out different sections, and I just remembered the name of each section. So instead of jumping between files, I would just Control F and jump to that section. So you can do it in one file, it's not recommended. But when I was using idle and it was a pain to open up different files, it was convenient to do it that way. Yeah. Have you considered adding NPCs since it's an RPG? I have NPCs. Like this one on the left here doesn't have completed text, but this one does have some text. It's like some lore. This one is just like placeholder. Also, I can make multiple NPCs talk at once. So yeah, I had several, well, a few thousand, I think it might be 2,000 lines in Drawn Down Abyss in the main file. I forgot how many it is. It's a lot. Do I have moderators in chat? No, I'm kind of the only moderator. I already said I don't use ECSs. Will I make graphic settings in the game? Yeah, I probably will. Like for example, you'll probably be able to turn off like the bloom and the foreground particles and stuff. And maybe some of the other stuff that slows things down. How long have I been working on this game? Technically like a year and a half, but it's like very on and off. I've been busy with other stuff. Can you apply for chat mod? Right now, like, I don't have enough viewers to like need mods really. Some of my Discord mods do watch the stream and they'd probably get it first. Yeah, maybe if I had like, I used to average like, what was it, over 100 concurrent viewers. I hit like 200 almost once during a really long live stream for a game jam. So if I get back to that, I'd probably get chat moderators, because when it gets to that level, I can't really answer questions as much, and I can't really read all the chat messages, even if I wanted to. Even at like with it 60 the way it is right now, if I've been trying to read all the messages, but I can't do a whole lot when I do that. So at some point, I just have to start ignoring a decent chunk of them. So it gets difficult. And yeah, once I start having to ignore messages a lot, that's when I'll probably get moderators. Anyways, how did I get this many FPS with all these particles and visuals? Good code. Well, it's not even that good. I could do better. What's the white portal? It goes over here. Like, this connects all the different areas. When I answered your question about the lore, I explained what it is in the lore, but yeah, it just goes between areas essentially. Anyways, let's turn on the profiler. I forgot how to do this. Hold on. So I can enable or wait, how do I enable this? So I can enable and output it. So it's in the input here somewhere. I forgot what I set it to. So profiler. So 8 and 7. So L. That's output. K. So K is to enable the profiler, it looks like, and then L is to output. So what I have to do is I press K, and then I wait for a little bit, I think. And then I hit L. And then I get my profiler output here. And then with this, I can like copy this and throw this into like Notepad or something, and then I can compare it with like what I'm doing here is I'm going to compare this with the shrine area to see what makes it slow. So I can now go over here. And then I'm going to turn on the profiler. Well, I'm going to get actually over here. Alright, that's all I needed. So now, let's take all of this again. And we're going to open up another notepad file. And hold on. So this one. So on the right, I've got the profiler output for what, did I save this maybe? Do they have like a logs file, maybe? No, I don't. Okay. So, on the right, this is the shrine area, which is slower. And the left is the starter area. So, we can look here and look for things that are proportionally larger. So, let's see. Let me... So the difference here, let me see what the percentage difference here is. So, do I have a high? Let's do 5.669 divided by 4.374. There's a thunderstorm outside, so you might be hearing a bit of that. So it's about 30% more, so I need to account for that. Like how long this one took. Let's see. So what I'm looking for here is things that are higher up on this one than this one, I think. So internal time. So it goes off of total time here. Why is this so much higher on that one? What am I using 2 string for? Oh wait, that's for the shaders. That's what that was. I'm curious why that's lower on the right. Interesting. But yeah, good chunk of the time is spent on the shaders. That's it. That's not something I can do a whole lot about here. I can reduce the amount of, I guess, layers, I guess I could say, for shaders. And that would speed things up, but I don't want to do that right now. Let's see. So what else is in here? So we have wait. Grass apply force. Oh. Wait a second. Aha. I think this might be our issue here. This is a good chunk of it. What proportion of this is this? So, what was the discrepancy? It was like 65 compared to 95-ish, I think, FPS-wise. So it was like maybe 50% faster on this one. So I'm curious, how much does this come out to? It's not going to be, it's obviously not the main issue. Well, it's maybe the biggest issue, but it's not like the entire issue. So 0.277 divided by 4.374. So if I fix this, that's a 6% performance improvement. So I think the issue here is that I'm applying grass physics for entities that are off screen, because I don't see how else apply force for grass could take up that much time compared to here. I think that's probably what's happening. So I can look in the code for apply force. So we have the entities can apply forces. Particles. Ooh, wait, what? Ooh, I forgot there's something I had that I need to. I don't know if I removed it. I need to remove this. This needs to not be a thing. I had a thing where I don't think I ever mentioned this anywhere. So projectiles and like attacks and stuff and just the movement of entities can move the particles in. So here, let me show you. You see these, well, they're hard to see now. Well, there's the glowing particles and the black particles. They can be affected by my movement as the player. I think I can, wait, hold on. Do I have a gun? Yes, I have a gun. I can, like, I think I can make them move. I think I actually might have to hit something for it to work. But if I hit something near the particles, they, like, go flying away, I think. Hold on, let's see. So, let's wait for a particle to get near. Or for these things to get near the particles, I guess. So you can see, I think the red stuff flew away a little bit. It's very subtle, and it's too subtle to be like doing that type of thing for, so I'm gonna just comment this stuff out for now. So I need to actually look for other places I'm doing that. This is not the issue I just saw in the profiler, but I'm gonna remove it anyways because I don't need that. Like all sorts of things looks like can apply this. There's a very minor effect. Okay, so here's Grass Manager. In the movement. Turn that off. So this is the part where I say it can. Okay. Now I need to figure out how the entity updates work. Do I skip it if it's not nearby? I don't know how. Where's Entity Manager? Wait, where's... here we go. So I need to look in the update stuff. Load, drop, update. For entity, update. Ooh, am I updating stuff that's off screen? Yikes. So it looks like I'm updating a lot of off-screen entities. Am I just like skipping rendering? Ooh, yeah. How's this being generated? What? How's this being determined? Oh wait, oh never mind, that's a different thing. I was looking at like, that's a skill effect. I thought I wrote some code to disable entities that were off screen. That's interesting. So the entity manager needs to know the screen space. I know I definitely disabled the AI. I know that for a fact. The AI for at least the... what are they called? The... metalheads is definitely disabled if they're not on screen. Oh, no, it's based on distance. So the AI disables, but I need to like disable the actual entity rendering and the entity, like just the general updates. Because the general updates apply physics to the grass, which is slowing things down. So I think that's the main issue, and that's why the shrine is at like 60 FPS compared to 90 from the other area. Because the other area, the only entities are the NPCs, which there's 2 of, and then there's the player, so there's 3 entities. Whereas the other, like the shrine, is like 30 something. Yeah. Are you guys enjoying the sound of thunder? Welcome to Florida. You guys can probably hear the thunder better than I can. I have headphones on. And the background music for me is probably louder than it is for you guys. So I can't really hear outside that well. Probably hear that car right now or whatever that is as well. Does everything have its own py file? Not necessarily. Like the scales are all in one at the moment. What do you think of Roblox Gamedev? I'm not like doing Gamedev in Roblox. I haven't ever looked into it really, but I mean, I wouldn't recommend it because profit share and accessibility. Like you have to have Roblox to play stuff you make. And then you don't get very much of the money. I gotta make notes for myself so I know what's what. I generally remember most of the stuff I need to. Like, especially if I'm working on something back to back, like, and I don't take a break, I keep it all in my head. And it's a lot faster than writing a ton of comments. What profile am I using? It's a C profile. If you look up Python Profiler, I think there's a page on like python.org or something about it. You can't hear the car or the thunder? I don't know. Yeah, it's just the thing about Florida is that I get this every afternoon. It's like trying to tell, like, the weather's trying to tell me to take a nap every afternoon. But yeah, I would disagree with Roblox being an entire waste of time to develop for, because, I mean, like, Scratch, I would say is probably a fairly similar situation. You can't really make money. You're reliant on the website that is Scratch, but it's good from an educational standpoint. And that's a large reason why people even use Pygame. Most people using Pygame aren't using it to make money or anything, they're trying to learn. So, I mean, it's probably a decent way to get into programming. I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know what Roblox's tool set is like. I don't know if you're actually scripting, or if you're like, how much of it is just dragging stuff around, who knows? Well, you guys probably know. I don't know. In Poland it's very hot? How hot? I was at, I don't know the Celsius amount. Let's see, what was it? They have, so it was, what was it, last Friday or something was 99. So 99 minus 32 divided by 1.8. Is that what it was? 37? I think I remembered the conversion. 37C. Hold on, I'm actually gonna Google this because that sounds a bit high. Oh no, I got it right. Yeah, so it was 37C from running out. 30 doesn't sound hot. 86, that's a nice day for me. Egypt is 42. What is that? 108, yeah. There's that guy that from my Discord server from Saudi Arabia that likes to post his temperatures sometimes. But yeah, 30C is not that hot. Although I guess if you don't have AC, it's kind of hot. Although, I lost power for a while in a hurricane a while back, and that was about the temperature it was. And it didn't bother me too much. It was annoying that I didn't have power, but the temperature wasn't too bad. Because wait, let me see what the C is for this. My room is normally about, well, not here in my apartment, because I have a roommate who likes things cold, but when I'm with my family, my room is 26 C. So going up to 30 is not too bad. Anyways, back to this. So I need to figure out how to restrict entity rendering and updates to only if they're on screen. So I can add a function from here to detect if they're on screen. The entity manager needs to know what the screen space is, or I could do it based on player distance. But that's what I'm gonna do. So the AI does that. I can check what the Metalhead AI does. So I can do the get distance. This is, yeah. So I just take this. So anything outside of, I guess, 400 should not be active. So this is a hacky way to do it. There's faster ways I'll probably get to, depending on how many entities I've got. So let's do this. So if self.getDistance, or no, entity.getDistance player.center, do I have, let me see, like self.player, right? Self.player.center. Wait, is less than 400. So, and then I'll do the same thing for rendering. Oh, I render all the doors no matter what. That's not good. I forgot. Doors are like a huge performance cost in this. Wait, I actually might have put some code into the door AI that prevents it from being rendered. Oh, did I not? Wait. I don't think I restricted it. Because these doors are like a massive performance cost. So I'm going to leave that there. That should be a decent performance improvement. And then we're going to do this. Why are there these massive paragraphs in my chat? How am I supposed to read that? I thought someone was spamming something because I saw these big paragraphs coming up in the corner of my mind. I'm like, what? Alright. So, hopefully that works. Let's see here. Wait, is that slower? Oh no, so now I'm hovering. No, this is the same FPS as before, which makes sense because there's not too many entities there. So we go over here. 80s, not bad. So let's go near some of these entities. So I already gained like 20 FPS. That's almost my target, and this is this area has a lot of entities, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's maybe like a 20, just under 20 FPS increase. I'm a little bit concerned about this area over here. I'm not sure why this is slower. It's actually probably because of all of these entities in the grass. Maybe. Could be a lot of stuff. Alright. But that's a fairly decent improvement. I could do another measurement. So I can close this one and do another test here. So, let's see what's happening in chat here. Oh, Pico 8, Mono Game essay. What are you guys talking about? I can't read this essay here. Alright. Yeah, I don't think I can reasonably read that during a stream. This is one of the difficulties of being like an educational type stream, is that the comments are so long that I can't like pause to read the entire thing. What temperature is it in my room in C? So right now it's actually kind of cold because I have a roommate that likes things really cold, and we kind of split the difference between what the temperatures we like. Hold on. Let's see. So I've got wait. Got it backwards. My room right now is about 24, just under 24 C. Ideally, it would be 26. But yeah. Do you need to turn on or off collisions a lot in game making? Yes, you should. Like, you don't want to. The way I did it here is sloppy because I did some. The issue with the way I did it here was I measured the distance, which is like a weird. It does a circle instead of a rectangle, which what you want. You want to check if it's like within a certain range of the visible space rather than an actual circle, because you have to. The spread is not ideal from a gameplay perspective, and you're processing a lot of stuff you don't need to process. So ideally I wouldn't use a circle, and the other issue with using a circle like I am here is that you're taking a square root a bunch for every entity, which is a slow process to begin with. You want to do more basic arithmetic. So there's a few things wrong with the way I did it, but yeah, you want to restrict how much you process things that aren't on screen. That's one of the main principles behind performance or optimization. That's hot, my room. Like I'm from Florida, so I'm used to the heat. It also helps that, like, I mean, I'm always in shorts and a t-shirt. Like, there are people that are used to wearing like jeans everywhere and stuff, and that would be hot if I were wearing jeans and stuff everywhere. But I'm in Florida, so. And then the other thing is if you have it, if you're one of those people that likes to keep your room cooler than I like and stuff like that, you end up paying more for energy just to run the AC. Can I add potatoes in the game? There probably will be potatoes at some point. I have other foods. Wait, hold on. Let me pull up my inventory. I'm pretty sure I got some food in my inventory. Oh, no, I don't. Hold on. There's got to be food around here somewhere. Maybe in it? Here? Oh, come on. That's not food. There's food in here somewhere. Hold on. I think it's like over here. Here, maybe? Wait, where was the food? Oh, wait, no, it was like under a tree, I think. I think it's over here. Wait. It's up here, I think. I'm pretty sure there's apples somewhere. Or maybe... Are apples a thing? I might be forgetting. Oh yes, apple. Here it is. Apples are in fact a thing. See, look, I have an apple. I can't do anything with it though. You're gonna be able to sell it, but yeah, an apple. So, but realistically, there will be potatoes at some point. I'll make a video about how I did the background. It's just a bunch of shaders. I like the first half of that, just explaining how I did shaders to begin with, is I'm gonna be working on that video today. I don't think it's gonna come out today. We'll see. Have I played Calamity, or are you just listening to the soundtrack? I've never played it. I've played Terraria, I haven't played Calamity. I found this guy's music because of Beat Saber, which was funny. It appears I've selected the wrong color of apple. Uh-oh. What interested me in programming? Not much, really. I was actually just bored. I told the story, so in my most popular video, the original title was How I Got into Gamedev and Why I'm Glad I Didn't Use a Game Engine. I dropped the first half of the title, which ended up being very good from an algorithm perspective, but it was misleading as to what the video was about. So the first half of that video is kind of a personal story about how I got into programming, but the short of it is I was bored because my parents put a restriction on how much video games I could play per day. So I decided to make my own. They almost limited how much I could code per day because I think they were thinking it was a problem for a bit, how much I was coding. I don't know if it was around the time I started winning competitions or what, but at some point they just kind of threw out the idea of limiting me on that. So now it's my career. Do I listen to Daft Punk? Not actively. I think I had a remix of one of their songs in my playlist when I was like 15. But not particularly. I like their music, it's just like not what I listen to. And then stuff I actually listen to is not what you're gonna hear on this stream. I think I've done a couple streams with the music that I do actually listen to, but I think it gets claimed normally. What OS do I have? I'm using Windows right now. I had Manjaro, but I switched to Ubuntu i3 because maintaining an Arch like OS is too much work. I don't have the time for it. Because things get out of date and you run into problems and stuff, and you have to spend like a couple hours fixing things every few months, which is annoying. So I just switched to Ubuntu i3 for my second OS. But yeah, I stream on Windows because I use an equalizer on my audio as goes into OBS that doesn't work on Linux. So I straight up can't stream the way I normally do on Linux. And then because I have to stream on Windows, I do most of my development on Windows because I don't want to keep the code in sync really. And then the other thing is that it's best to be developing on the platform that you're primarily targeting. So because I'm primarily targeting Windows, it's convenient to be working on Windows because I know my stuff works on Windows when I'm developing on Windows, which is nice. Whereas I could run into issues with porting if I'm working on Linux, which could be annoying. It's preferable to go the other way around because it's better to drop Linux support than Windows support. But should be non-issue in most cases though. How old was I when I started programming? 13. Wait, no, 12. Ubuntu? No, just Ubuntu i3. What resources do I recommend beginners in programming to check out? If you're new to Python, I don't know if it's in the description or not. There's a book, like inventing games with Python or something. This teaches you the basics of Python. That's where I learned Python from. I didn't read the Pygame part, but I do recommend that. If it's not in the description, I don't remember if it is. Go to my Discord server. It's in the frequently asked questions. There's a link to it. OBS does have audio filters. I don't think they have an EQ. Yeah, let's see. They've got compressor, expander, gain, invert polarity, limiter, noise gate, noise suppression, and then you can do a VST plugin. I have to. I did the equalizer through the VST plugin, which is Windows only. So yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, hopefully I'll update my Pygame videos soon when I get that course out. Anyways, I'm gonna run this again and get the difference again. So I'm curious, over to the right here, what was it, like 5.5 seconds I gotta run the profiler for? So it does drop down into the 60s over in this area, I think, which I need to fix. So I'm gonna start the profiler right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there we go. I think that's about right. Wait, I'm counting seconds wrong. That was 8 seconds. Whatever, I'll take it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so this, replace it with that. And then we can pull up the other one and we can look for differences again. So we got 8 seconds here. So the world render function is taking longer. I think there's just more tiles. So if I remember correctly, I had like multiple layers and I think I need to clean that up. That needs to be fixed. There's stuff I can do to improve the rendering performance that I might want to do. Let's see. Where's the world render? Oh, it's like triple. That's interesting. And it's the same number of calls. 507, 508. Is that like the frames? Game update. Where's game update? So okay, so I counted the seconds wrong, but because of the frame rate difference, I got the number of frames almost the exact same, which is hilarious. So this one's 508 frames and this one's 507. That's the funniest coincidence. Alright. So, yeah, the toString function here, this is the conversion of the Pygame surface to OpenGL texture. Nothing to do about that, that's gonna be slow. Camera, whoa. Why? What is calling that? And why did I have to call it 500,000 times? Yikes. That's gonna need to be fixed. Hold on, how am I pulling that? Ooh, yeah, I'm taking like... I need to cache that. And that definitely needs to be cached. Oof. I'm surprised it takes so long, because it's just an int and a floor. I guess because it's technically a function call, for some reason it's slow. I don't understand why I spent nearly half a second out of 8 seconds. I spent, what is that, 5% of my time just looking up the camera position. That's a 5% performance improvement if I can just swap that with something else. But you could see, I think that's the number of render calls for like, this is mostly just tiles. You can see I rendered twice as much stuff pretty much in the same amount of frames, which is part of the problem. So there's just a lot more on the screen in that area to the right of the shrine area. So that could use some optimization just from a level design perspective. I can clean up some of the stuff so I'm not rendering some unnecessary things. And then I could also probably restrict my terrain rendering stuff to filter out more tiles that I don't need to render. The mini-map's kind of slow, that's known. Let's see. Tile map. Ooh. What is this? Tile map get visible. I mean that makes sense. Or does it be that slow to determine what's visible on screen? Probably not, actually. I need to work on that. That's like kind of a lower level thing that I don't want to touch right now. I'm mostly just like at this point I'm mostly looking at the differences here for like just trying to figure out what's going on, not necessarily to fix it right now. I just want an idea of what here is slow. So this is interesting. What is this? It's calling init. Why is it calling init? What's it initializing? Line 12 init. What is this? Hold on. So I'm gonna pull up the texture lib script and see what's going on here. Where did I put it? It's here. Right here. Oh, it's creating the texture. That's fair. Oh, yeah. This is what it's calling the toString. But it's calling other open. Wait, actually, the toString I don't think is included in that. Hold on. So I don't think it includes the toString because it's in it. If you look here, toString has more cumulative time. Or wait, no, more total time than this. So this is like the OpenGL calls or something. What's slow here? It's gotta be this. Like, just for whatever reason, that's not super fast. Not much I can do about that. What else is in here? VFX. I was getting hit by things. There are a lot of projectiles going on here. That's reasonable that would be up there. Particles. There's a few more particles. copying surfaces. I'm not sure what's doing that. Rounding. I'm curious what's doing all that rounding. Where's rounding on the left here? I see rotate and floor. Oh wait, here's round. Oh. They're about the same. It's actually higher in this one proportionally. So particles. Yeah, so just looking at it, it looks like the main issue here at this point, the reason why it slows down on the right there is just pretty much just terrain. I need to work on optimizing my tile rendering, which I don't know if it's really necessary. And I need to filter out in like tiles you can't normally see. I have layers of tiles and like stuff in the back you can't see. It was just there because I was drawing in the terrain. That stuff needs to get removed. Yeah, there's some optimizations both from filtering out the tiles and the rendering stuff, because you can see on the camera calls, I think this is done when it's trying to render tiles that needs to be fixed. That'll be a 5% improvement. Let's see what is 5% on my current situation. So we were at like what, 75 was it, or 70? So 70 by 1.05. How much of an improvement is that? Like another 4 FPS almost. That would be good. Yeah. So note to self, fix whatever is going on. Actually, wait, hold on. I have this. Oh, this is a huge performance thing that needs to be done in combat. Stop. Cache camera position outside of a function. Optimize tile rendering. Filter out unseen tiles in East Shrine. There we go. Those are the changes I want. So actually, let me commit this. Optimization. All right. I'm gonna read chat. I'm not gonna read everything because it'll take you some. Oh no, I think I can. I will read everything pretty much, or almost everything. Did I learn everything for myself? Like I learned things, or figure things out on my own, or wait. Where's this question? Hold on. It's 2 questions. So I didn't really follow a tutorial for a lot of Pygame stuff, so in that sense, yeah, I kind of figured it out by example. I was reading a lot of code. I don't recommend learning like that though. My tutorial series is making a platformer game. An in-depth 2D water video would be nice. I need to put water in my games again. I need to like come up with a better way to do that. I thought about doing a vertex shader to do water. But there's a couple things I could do. If I threw portability out the window, I could write the water code in C and just like it's CPU intensive to simulate the water surface, which is why I don't have it in all my games at this point. I want to put it back in though. You'd like to see a tutorial series on how to make an implied platformer like this one, but only the core mechanics. I'm not sure what you mean by implied. You need to. So you want more than just the basics, and that's what I'm going to be doing in my new series. The biggest issue I have with my current series is that it's like showing you the basics of Pygame and not really showing you how to make a game. It's just a bunch of random features I have. So that's something I'm fixing with the new tutorial series. So here's an interesting thing. If you click one of my videos and you watch over 3 seconds of it, but don't watch very much of it and leave, that's actually bad for me. I think even if you like the video, YouTube isn't happy with that. They like it, YouTube likes watch time more than anything else. So if you click on my video, just click the like button, I think it actually hurts me. I'm not certain, but I think that's the case. So 144 FPS isn't really necessary for pixel art. Well, I always have this resolution. The difference isn't that big, I don't think. It depends on how fast things are moving. When you're moving slow and it comes out to like a pixel per second, well, per frame or something, 144 is still gonna look pretty much the same, or fairly similar, I think, in theory. I've never seen a 144 display to begin with, though, so I wouldn't be an expert on that. All my monitors are 60. I was told that you just never want to look at it 144 because then you're just stuck buying 144 for everything. And I don't want to spend that type of money right now, so I'm sticking with 60. I have videos about the grass, or a video. Oh, I need to open source that. I'll do that this year. How important is trigonometry in programming? And can you do just fine without it when making a game at a lower level? I would say it's pretty important, actually. I made games without trig for a while, and I mean, you can look at my older games. There's tons of games I made without trig. But for a lot of things, it is beneficial. So I'd recommend understanding it. It's not that complicated. So like if you were to take a trig class, 95% of the time is going to be spent learning random stuff that is not really applicable to game development. The trig you actually need for game development is just like you need to know a couple functions. I have a video about this. It's I think it's called trigonometry in game development or something. It's like an 8-minute video maybe, or 10, and it covers most of what you need. You just need to know sine, cosine, and arctangent. That's most of what you need. Like for most of the applications, you just need those 3 functions, and if you know what they do and how to apply them, that's it. So like you can reasonably learn what you need to know in a day. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of messages. Whenever I start reading chat, you guys start sending a ton of messages, which is difficult for me. I'm catching up slowly. There's not a whole lot of stuff in Pygame that like removes the need to understand trigonometry. Because like Pygame's fairly bare bones. I think there's like some like image rotation maybe. I don't even know if I'm assuming that's just matrices. And other stuff. which like I think it's dependent on trig maybe, sorta. But I mean, like image rotation is such a basic thing that you shouldn't really need to be thinking about that, like how to mathematically rotate an image. Most of the other stuff you gotta do yourself though, so I wouldn't say it's abstracted away in Pygame. Do I sometimes look back at a line of code when you forget how it should be typed out exactly? Or wait, what? As in what it's doing? Or I'm not not sure what you're trying to say. If you're asking if I forget what a line of code is supposed to do, that does happen sometimes, but normally I can figure it out pretty fast. Have you ever wanted to make a 3D game, or do I just prefer 2D? I don't really have an interest in normal 3D. I do have an interest in VR. So it's, for me, it's like 2D or 3D with VR. I'm not really interested in 3D on its own. I'm not really interested. Because in 3D, to get a lot of gameplay, like entertaining gameplay, you have to put in a lot more work, and it's just not really appealing to me. And to just fill in a world and make it feel full, there's like so much more work you have to do. So it's just like 2D. From a world building perspective, you can get stuff done so much faster and make something like as an individual, I think you can make something better doing 2D. But I do want to do VR stuff. So why would making the water code, writing this water code scene, making it non-portable? That's because when you compile it, package it with your code, you have, I think it's the way you do it is different for different operating systems, and I don't want to think about that. I could do it for just Windows pretty easily, and that's easy, but I don't want to throw out Linux just so I can have water. So it's like, it's just not worth the effort to go through to make it portable, really. I might do that type of thing later on, but right now I don't feel like it. How much is this game gonna be? Like, how much is it gonna cost? I'm probably aiming for like $10-15. Although with the inflation the way it's going, maybe it'll be 20. Who knows? By the time I actually release this game. Can the game window be maximized? Yes, in theory. I forgot the button. It is a thing. There's some issues with it because of the way I was doing stuff with when I switched it to OpenGL rendering. So there's some bugs right now, but yeah, that was a feature, and it sort of still is. It's a lot of what's on screen sprite-based or generated using draw. It's images, usually. The background is shaders, though, which is different. Draw I use for like shapes and like sparks. So like if I pull up my gun right here and I shoot the ground, you see the sparks. Those are polygons. That's usually done with draw, but it glows using shaders though. So it's a mix of stuff. Pygame's display size is not fixed. I don't know where you're getting that from. You can make it any size. But yeah, this game, like, when I'm done with it, you'll be able to full screen it. And I think the default will be full screen. I just develop it like this because it's easy for me to, like, you guys can't see this as well. Hold on. I can see the console down here when I'm developing like this, whereas if I were full screen, I couldn't. So it's convenient for me to like have it in a smaller window while I'm working on it. So, like when the game's done, it'll be full screen. That's how my paid games are. Yeah, once I catch up on the chat, I'm probably gonna end the stream because my throat's starting to hurt. And then there wasn't a whole lot I wanted to do today. I just wanted to get that area fixed so I could record some footage for my next video, which is going to be explaining kind of briefly how I did the shaders. Not the specific shaders for this game, just how to do shaders with Pygame in general. It's not a tutorial either though, because it doesn't go that far in depth. Does mask go faster than image load? I'm not sure what you're asking. I don't know what Rain World is. I mean, it sounds familiar. Let me see. I can see some pictures. Where's the game? Can I, like, get an image of this? Yeah, it looks like the type of thing that would be procedurally generated. Like, yeah, like, yeah, a lot of animations are starting to transition to procedurally generated. That's becoming fairly standard, I think. Well, although the definition varies, I guess, as well. But it's heading in that direction regardless of how you defined it. The background shaders are parallel noise, but it's not dynamic. It's just a static image. No, this won't be on console. Alright. I have caught up on chat. And my throat is hurting. I haven't streamed well, so I'm not really used to it. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. I don't know when the next stream will be. It's not an issue that I don't have time to stream. It's an issue that the things I'm working on are not the things I would stream. I might do some more Vaegrant streams later. So the reason why I kind of have to stop here is because the next thing I gotta do in Vaegrant, well, after some devlogs, next thing I gotta do for Vaegrant is design the boss. I'm not gonna design a boss on stream because that's like sketching things out and trying out different things and stuff, and wouldn't be very interesting to watch. And I also need to be able to focus for that. But when I'm actually implementing the boss into the game, I can stream that. So when that happens, I'll probably stream that. That'll probably be the next Vaegrant stream. I don't know if I'll stream something else before that or not, though. Maybe if I do a game jam or something. So we'll see. Maybe I'll stream next week. I'm hoping to get into doing it regularly. It's just an issue that I don't really have stuff to stream. And I don't want to force myself to stream something like... Streaming is a well, sort of. Like, I spend most of the time answering questions anyways, but it's meant to be a byproduct of my normal work. I prefer to be working on something when I'm doing my streams. Like, working on something that's not just for the stream. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. Bye.